everybody. Hope you guys are having a good one. Just kind of want to let you guys know I'm kind of doing this a little bit differently today. I am actually in my house right now. You can see I don't have my table here. I'm just pretty much in my computer chair, just sitting here. I kind of wanted to go through a little differently today. The reason why is because there's been a lot of things that have been going on in media, has been going on just in life in general, that have kind of been, pressing for that matter. I'm not here to, push my agenda. I'm not here to push my view, my political background, any of that stuff, because after all, politics is politics. Humans are humans, so on and so forth. And the thing with that is sometimes we seem to forget that politics makes us who we are. The problem with that is it doesn't make us who we are. It's the thing with a lot of people in politics is that it pushes an emotional charge. It's like an emotional response when it comes to everything. If you respond out of anger, if you respond out of hate, or you're upset at something, you're coming from an emotional state of mind to where you're answering something and you really don't have a rational explanation for what you're defending. And the thing with that is that's how a lot of, people, just not in general, as far as, the people that are in your circles and the people that follow you on Facebook, on Instagram, stuff like that, they have this distinct view of how you're supposed to be and, the things that you're saying and stuff like that, and they look at you like, you're the worst person in the world when you say something that you believe. And the crazy thing about that is I stopped posting, a lot of politics on my Facebook, and I stopped posting a lot of politics on my Instagram, because honestly, politics just brings nothing but drama. Nobody's gonna agree with you. Well, not gonna say nobody, but a lot of people won't agree with your view on politics, and that's okay. It's okay to have a different view, and that's the great thing about it, is that having a different view brings up different viewpoints for discussions and stuff like that. It seems like society today has lost the ability to debate between, a point and another point. And it's kind of disturbing in a way, because you can't even, you have to walk on eggshells with everything that you say, and when you walk on eggshells, you're not really expressing how you really feel. And this whole thing, I posted a video on my Facebook earlier today. Well, I think it was yesterday. It wasn't really a video, it was more an article on how some people are viewing the president after his decision that he made to go after an Iranian general after a U.S. embassy, American soil, was attacked. And the thing is a lot of these people have not been over to Afghanistan, have not been over to Iraq, that are spouting this stuff, because it shows. And what I mean by it shows is that they haven't been over there to see it firsthand. And the thing with that is I've been over there 3 times. I've been to Iraq once, I've been to Afghanistan twice. And dealing with the people over there, it's eye-opening, because the people there view us completely different than how people here view us. And it's mind-boggling to see that some people will look at you like you're killing babies and stuff like that. And I mean, that's one of the things that happened to me when I was going through the Georgia airport when I was on leave one deployment, is I got called a baby killer. Little did they know, I was helping kids out in the local villages. I was giving kids food. I was giving kids, drinks and stuff like that. We were giving out candy to them. We were out there playing soccer with them and stuff like that. And we got called baby killers. And that just shows the ignorance with today, that you can be in a place and have a completely different view about it. And you know, the people here, they don't see the stuff that we deal with over there. They don't see, you know, everything that, you know, we are going through. And you know what? That is perfectly fine. I am okay with that. You know, we can have a difference of opinion and it'll be all right. You know, and that's one of the things is I want to talk about today is that I want to show you guys, well, not really show you, but I want to let you guys know how to kind of take this view and just really, you know, not really say something inflammatory or anything like that. You can peacefully say your piece with it, and you know, you can agree or you can disagree with what I say, and that's perfectly fine. You know, I'm not expecting anyone to agree with what I'm saying. You know, what I do expect is that we both act like adults and we can have a logical conversation over the issue at hand. And that's one of the biggest ways about, you know, coping and getting through a lot of the problems is that you learn how to talk to people. You learn how to really ask the right questions and stuff like that. You know, giving kind of what I talked about, I think a few weeks ago, I talked about, you know, how you ask a question, like the how, the what, the why, the where, the who, stuff like that. Those are open-ended questions. You know, a lot of closed-ended questions are basically, are you a Democrat, are you Republican, stuff like that. And again, you know, I'm not targeting any kind of affiliation that you have towards your political party. It just goes in line with what I'm saying today. And you know, that's the thing is I'm not going to spout politics because I'm not a politician. I should not be the one to talk about politics if I'm not a politician. You know, just like I feel, you know, entertainers should not be talking about politics. They're entertainers. They should be entertaining. You know, and that's what they signed up to do in the very beginning. You know, when they were kids, or whenever they decided to be an actor or an actress, you know, they didn't decide to be a politician. They decided to be an actor or an actress to entertain people, to give people, you know, to fill people's imagination in, and to be a positive influence to the community. And the thing is, with that kind of stuff, you know, a lot of people tend to forget that you go into the entertainment industry to entertain. You go there to express yourself, not really push your belief. And that's one of the things I want to talk about, you know, as far as being over there in Iraq and Afghanistan compared to being over here. And, you know, it helped me realize that when I was over there, you know, I went through a lot of, it was culture shock. I was completely, you know, blown away by the difference of culture because I grew up in a place where I thought poor was poor. And the problem with that is I wasn't poor compared to some of these villages that are there. And, you know, being poor here means being poor completely over there. You know, it was kind of interesting because there was a convoy we did in Iraq, and basically what had happened is we handed out Gatorade to some of these kids, and the thing is one of the kids took a drink of the Gatorade, he spit it out, dumped it out, went over the river, filled up his bottle with the river water and drank that. That's because that's all he knew. And the thing is he felt like the stuff we were giving him was poison. And that's just how they grow up. That's how they deal with everything. And you know, they're used to a certain lifestyle, and you know, us being there gives them a sense of security, gives them a sense of like I said, security in a sense. You know, just like how, you know, you need a security blanket, or you know, you'd suck your thumb for comfort as you were a child or something like that. You know, whatever you think of right now as a comfort for you is a luxury for them over there. And, you know, I'm talking about TV. I'm talking about, you know, cell phones and stuff like that. You know, it's luxury for them over there. Not everybody has a cell phone. And I mean, a lot of people do have cell phones over there, but a lot of people don't. You know, one of the interesting things that I saw over there was that, you know, the houses they live in were basically made of mud. We call them mud huts. And You know, it was their windows. They didn't have glass. Like some of them had glass in their windows, some of them didn't. They just had holes in the wall that were windows. You know, the doors were sometimes hanging off hinges, stuff like that. Sometimes they didn't have a front door. They just had a curtain going over their front door. And the thing is those people were completely content with what they had. They didn't care about having a gigantic TV. They didn't care about having a $50,000, $60,000 pickup truck or a car or anything like that. What they cared about was that their vehicle can get them from point A to point B, and they had one vehicle per family. And that's the crazy thing about that is, you know, in the poor places, they didn't even have that. They had maybe a bike or, you know, maybe a motorcycle, but a lot of them did a lot of walking. And, you know, it's just a huge culture shock. And that's what I mean is that people over here who never witnessed the stuff over there have no right to talk about what we should be doing over there, especially if they've never been there. Because, I mean, and like, you know, I'm not pro or against, you know, the situation or anything like that. You know, do I believe that we should be over there? Yes, I do. Do I believe that we should come home? No, I don't. Because if they bring us home, what's stopping them from coming over here and attacking us at home, attacking us in our comfort zone, attacking us in just everything in general? I mean, if you notice too, during 9/11, when they attacked us, I mean, we really didn't have a strong presence over there. And that was the thing, is we didn't have a strong presence over there, but they hit us here. And a lot of people aren't seeing that. And that's okay, you know, because like I said, we all grow up differently. We all grow up in this lifestyle. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you you're wrong for believing what you believe in. That's your belief, and I praise you for having a belief. And that's, you know, that I respect you for that. And you know, I will never push my political agenda on anything. Why? Because it's my own belief. It's my own understanding. Your politics are your politics. My politics are my politics. We can have a logical conversation over what we think. You know, the art of debating is pretty much dead these days. And, you know, if we could bring back the art of debate, that would be amazing. You know, and I watch a lot of Louder with Crowder videos and stuff like that, and just watch, you know, he's not there to start a fight with anybody. He's there to open up dialogue. He's there to open up communication between people, so that way you can have a logical conversation. Say your viewpoint, he'll say his viewpoint, and basically you guys give facts back and forth on why your viewpoint is important to you. Not necessarily pushing it on anybody else, but you're explaining, you know, maybe that you can come to an understanding by explaining everything, by sitting down and just talking about it. You know, there doesn't have to be violence, there doesn't have to be riots, there doesn't have to be any of that stuff. And the thing is to avoid any of that stuff, just don't post it on your Facebook. Don't post it on your Instagram. Because I guarantee a majority of your friends don't want to see it to begin with, and some of your friends, very few, will respond, but the response will be inflammatory, it'll be aggressive, it'll be in a way that basically puts a spike or a wedge in your friendship. And the thing is, you know, I posted this one video on my Facebook about George Lopez basically saying, you know, I'm not going to talk about that. Just, yeah. Anyways, basically what had happened, an article that I read was basically a speech from him that stated some things that were, you know, damaging to United States as a whole. And the thing is when it comes to the United States, I took an oath to defend the Constitution no matter who was president. You know, I may not have liked some of the presidents that have been presidents since I've been alive, but I still respected them as the president. They were the president of the United States for a reason. They were voted in. And you know what? If it's somebody that I don't like, I'm still going to respect them because they're the president of the United States. They're in the spot that they're supposed to be representing the United States. If they are have a different viewpoint or politics different than me, I don't care. You know, I just want somebody in there that is going to take care of the United States. They're going to promise what they want to do, and they'll follow through with those promises. And that speaks volumes to me. If someone's going to promise to do something and they follow through with it, then what's the problem? You know, what's wrong with keeping your word? What's wrong with integrity? And it's hard to really, you know, just sit there and sit back and watch. You know, I've served for 12 years in the military, and you know, I watched a lot that went on when I was deployed. I watched a lot that went on while I was here in the States in active duty. You know, there was a couple times where the presidents couldn't decide on a budget and we didn't get paid. Let that sink in. The military did not get paid a month. For a month of their work, they did not get paid. And if they were, you know, we were also told that if you do not work, you will be, we were deployed at the time, if you don't work, you're going to be charged as a deserter. Basically saying that we're not going to pay you, but if you don't work, we're going to put you in jail. You know, and they can do that because you signed a contract. We didn't bitch about it. We didn't complain about it because the thing with that is that we signed a contract to defend the Constitution no matter what. And that's one thing that I had to tell my soldiers when I was there, because I was fielding questions. I was taking, you know, concerns from the soldiers and listening to their bitches and complaints about not being paid. But the thing is that I had to sit there and tell them, I said, come down to the first moment of why did you sign up to be in the military to begin with? And once they see the real reason why they're there, it puts their mind at ease. And the thing was, you know, we're not hiding anything from anybody when it comes to that. You know, I'm not going to hide my belief. I'm not going to quiet my mouth when it comes to someone completely degrading me and stuff like that. You have to stand up for yourself. And the thing is I'm not saying be violent or anything like that. You know, open communication. Learn how to communicate effectively. And that's, you know, a very important thing to do is communicate effectively. Because after all, how well does a conversation go over text message or email or Facebook? I mean, if you say something, it can be interpreted however that person interprets information. So having a conversation, having the natural tone, the way I'm talking to you right now, you know, my tone, the way that I, you know, the body movements, stuff like that. How am I putting off, you know, a specific, you know, way or something like that? And you know, yeah, waterboarding instructor. I just realized I'm wearing my ASM DSS sweatshirt, and I do not condone waterboarding. I'm just saying it's a joke. Waterboarding instructor. But however, it's not waterboarding if you use diesel. Anyways, the joke set aside. You know, I have a way that I conduct myself in public. I have a way that I conduct myself online and stuff like that. And the thing is I don't post political stuff on my Facebook. I don't post political stuff on my Instagram or anything like that because it can be considered inflammatory. And the thing is people will view me differently because I support one thing and don't support another. And you know what? That's just not how to live. You know, we lost all common decency. We lost all basically tact, and our moral compasses are completely twisted and thrown off. Like literally there's a magnet on top of the moral compasses of some people these days, and it's just throwing their compass in a 360 and going crazy. And the thing is you need to separate yourself from people who are bringing negativity into your life. What do I mean by negativity? Okay, speaking on the whole Iran thing and stuff like that, when someone says a death threat to somebody else about something, that right there in itself, cut that out of your life. You know, you don't need that person in your life if they think that way. That's irrational thinking. I mean, who you know, you talk about, you know, killing another person, you know, for their belief, for their willingness to protect the nation. How does that even register? I can't even think about that. And, you know, I even said the same thing about other presidents that I didn't agree with. You know, how can you, you know, wish death on another human being? You know, and you know, take it from me. I was a soldier. I still am a soldier, even though I was medically retired in 2015. There was people over there wanting to kill me, but the thing was, I respected them because they fought for their belief. They fought for what they thought was right. And a person's terrorist is another person's hero. Think that. Let that sink in. You know, and the thing is we can't allow media to convince us of thinking a certain way. You need to have your own way of thinking. You need to think for yourself. You need to act for yourself and take accountability for the things that you say and do. And it's very important because, I mean, after all, is the media or is somebody else going to step up for you to protect you? So you have to protect yourself. So stay away from that drama. You know, don't participate in conversations that are very inflammatory and stuff like that, because it is damaging for your own personal mentality. I used to be the type of person that would get into conversations and throw around accusations and stuff like that, you know, and this past year and a half, 2 years of growth that I've had, I have learned that no matter what they say, I can't surround myself. I can't add into that, because all I'm doing is spreading hate. All I'm doing is spreading negativity to somebody else. Not to mention, I'm bringing negative attention back to me by saying my viewpoint. We're all not going to agree on things, and that is perfectly fine. You know, and that's just the way that life is. You know, life, we were put here on this planet not to be a same person as somebody else. You know, if you follow somebody else, we tend to start acting like them. The thing is when we act like that, excuse me, holy cow, woo. Anyways, when we act like that, you know, we have to be accountable for our own actions and stuff like that. So when we carry out, you know, violence and stuff like that, those other people are not going to step in and say, yeah, it was my fault. You know, they didn't know what they were doing, stuff like that. No, you're on your own. So you need to be very careful with how you respond to things and how you do that stuff, and not feed into the drama that goes on with everything. You know, I got about 4 minutes left on this. But, you know, I want to leave you guys with this. It took everything within me to learn how to just stop feeding into the BS that it goes on and every day on social media, on media, and stuff like that. You know, when it comes to the fabric of the United States, I will defend it no matter what, regardless what president is in office. I don't care who is in office. What I do care about is that they are thinking about America first, and they are taking care of Americans that are, you know, naturally born here. And that's the thing, is we're all Americans. We're not Democrats, we're not Republicans, we're not moderates, we're Americans. And that's what we need to bring back into the sovereignty of this country, is that everyone in this country is an American. We need to sit with that, and we need to start really getting away from the division. And both sides do it. Both sides divide. And that's the thing, is we need to get rid of that and we need to all come together to come to one resolution. And that's the thing, is not everyone's going to agree, and that is perfectly fine. But when you come together as a team, that's when the good ideas start coming out. So think about that kind of stuff, you know. Don't let yourself fall into one category or the other. Be yourself, think for yourself, and allow yourself, hold yourself accountable for the things you do. That's one of the biggest things that, goodness, oh my gosh, sorry, just long night last night. Anyways, hold yourself accountable. Find yourself a good person that can be your accountability partner. Hold them accountable as well. We're not meant to be here alone. We're meant here to be together. We're meant here to exist with everyone else. So just realize that, with everything going on, y'all are loved, whether you think so or not. We all have a different viewpoint, and that is perfectly fine. We can all talk about it. We can sit down, have a conversation, and we can just love each other. And that's the thing is, I'm not a hippie. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm an American. And you know what? I will fight for that Constitution. I will fight for our rights no matter what happens. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right. See you.